Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother, mother, can you keep them in the dark for life? Can you hide them from a waiting world? Oh, mother, father, gonna take your daughter out tonight. Gonna show her my world. Oh, mother, not about to see your light.
It's privileged white male radio. My name is Rod. Welcome to the podcast. Been a little lazy this week. Finally got a chance. Well, I've been lazy. I've been working. But I haven't had a chance to get to the podcast, especially with everything that's going on. Oh, there's so much going on. All kinds of arguing, bickering, and fighting. But I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about something else. Saw something interesting online today. Oh, great. Where did it go? Where did it go? I know it's here somewhere. There. Okay, this from USA Today. Kenyan court, colon, how appropriate. I'm trying to, add the punctuation since you can't see what it looks like. USA Today, Kenyan court, colon, anal exams to test sexual orientation are legal. That's right, I said legal. A Kenyan court ruled Thursday the use of anal examinations to determine a suspect's sexual orientation is legal, despite arguments that the procedure is a form of torture. Mombasa High Court Judge Matthew Emukule said, "I find no violation of human dignity, right to privacy, and right to freedom of the petitioners," the Associated Press reported. So, according to Matthew Emukule, rectal anal exams, a little rectal probing a la, Area 51 aliens, that's all fine and dandy. It's not a violation of human dignity to have somebody dig around in your butt. All right. Just to see your sexual orientation. The court in Mombasa made the decision after reviewing the case of two men who were arrested in a bar near Uganda along Kenya's Indian Ocean coast in February 2015 on suspicion of having sex. Oh my God. Two dudes getting it on in Kenya. Not happening. In Kenya, gay sex is a criminal offense and can bring prison sentences up to 14 years. The two men were forced to have anal examinations. Well, they probably didn't mind, right? I mean, let's be honest. The two men were forced to have anal examinations and HIV and hepatitis B tests. And they petitioned that they were being subjected to torture and degrading treatment. This also from the AP. A judge dismissed their petition Thursday. The men still face charges. Cameroon, Egypt, Tunisia, Turkmenistan, Uganda, and Zambia are other countries that still use anal exams to determine homosexuality, the Washington Post reported. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I guess in light of everything that's going on here in the good old US of A today, in spite of the fact that we lost a huge number from the LGBT community in this recent terrorist attack in Orlando, Florida at the Pulse nightclub. There are other parts of the world where There really isn't any such thing as a gay nightclub. There isn't even any such thing as two dudes being together, being accepted, having sex. That's a huge segment of the majority of that part of the world. I've got a list of 10 countries. I won't go through it now, but there is a list of 10 countries, most of which you know, Afghanistan, Iran, go through. It's all well-known Islamic countries, 10 of them, with very similar laws, where homosexuality is punishable by death. But over here, the debates about guns, debates about immigration, the debates about surveilling mosque, policing the internet. We continue to be divided here by these acts, by these terrorist acts. Every time there is one, more division takes place. In my opinion, just in my opinion. I don't believe our leaders have done a proper job of focusing us, the American public, on what the threat is. I think John Brennan did it today. CIA Chief John Brennan addressed Congress and basically laid it all out on the line as far as where the Islamic State is, as far as what its plans are, and how it will affect all of us here in America. It does not sound good. If you haven't read it or heard it, it's all over online. You can find it for yourself. But I'm guessing you're probably too busy scrolling the internet looking for things to bolster your argument against your fellow American, rather than to, I don't know, maybe take some time and see what Sharia law is all about and how it relates to women and gays. Forget transgendered. We won't. Let's not even try to bring that into this discussion when it comes to radical Islamism. A majority of these countries over there are ruled by Sharia law, religious extremism. And I find it hard to understand how it is that so many in our government, so many leaders, have no problem running to the defense of these countries. Some of our leaders even have no problem, taking a few bucks here and there from these countries. You can find that out for yourself too, a quick Google search. Take millions of dollars from these countries. But yet these countries have some of the most abhorrent acts imaginable. What goes on here in the United States pales in comparison to that. Some shop maker, cake maker, God knows what here in the United States of America won't bake some fucking cake and people lose their minds. And that's all fine and dandy and it's great. Let's have that debate. Let's talk about it. But not right now. Because I don't think a lot of people understand, especially women and people in the LGBT community, I don't think they understand the true threat that they face. And this whole thing in Orlando, I think, should be bringing that to light, and I hope it is. Because the global threat of Islamic terrorism is the single greatest threat to our security and our freedom as Americans. All of us. Top to bottom, left to right, middle of the road, doesn't matter. LGBT, LMNOP, it's all the same to them. They don't like any of us. They disagree with our lifestyle, and they certainly don't like the fact that we have allowed, and that's in quotes, just for the record, allowed women to become what they've become and given them rights. They don't like the fact that we've allowed homosexuals to have rights. They don't like the fact that we are a sexual society. I said it before. Islam has a lot of issues with sex. But Rod, the Muslims are peace-loving. Okay, great. Maybe there's a vast majority of them that live that way. But there is a very large number of governments, theocracies. You talk about fundamentalist Christians here in the United States and their oppressive nature on women, on gays, on transgendered people, bathroom arguments, where do we pee and poop? It's petty if you stop and think about it compared to the archaic nature of these 10 theocracies in the Middle East and what they do to women. Did you know that in countries that are governed by Sharia law, there's no such thing as marital rape? It's not possible. Did you know that a woman's testimony in court in a country that's governed by Sharia law only counts as half a testimony compared to a man's? Far be it from me to sit here and indict an entire religion. No more than I would indict an entire religion like Christianity for the Jonestown Massacre. But at the same time, don't you think it kind of pales in comparison? A global effort by a group that identifies with one particular religion, and their numbers are many. It's not one guy. It's not a few people. Listen to what John Brennan, the chief of the CIA, said today. ISIS, ISIL, and Islamic radical terrorism is huge. It is the single greatest threat we face. And I know it's all, that's over there. Hey, it's only over in Kenya where guys are getting probed up the ass. That's not here. You're right, it's not. But the fact that that's not happening here is why they want to come here and kill us. It's why one of these animals would walk into a nightclub and kill 49 of your fellow Americans. And in that process, call up 911 and proclaim it in the name of his God. You think he's just showing off when he does that? All of these terrorists that commit these acts, they do this. And it's a thing called the bayat. It's something that they religious in their religion, it requires them to proclaim it before they die. That's why he called this producer of a local TV station. That's why he called 911. It's part of his belief system. I think a lot of us are blind. I think we've been conditioned by our media and by certain politicians to feel like we're discriminating against people and making them feel bad because of their religion. Well, you should really know what that religion is all about and what it stands for. You should really know the countries that identify under Sharia law. It's brutal. All right. Podcast of the day, Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I really hope you're tuning out of all of this shit. Facebook, Twitter, the news. Just get out of it for a while. I did. You have to. It calls like some kind of a siren. I want to listen. I got to hear what's good. No, you don't. Not always. Listen to music. Do something, anything. Keep your sanity. All right, that's it. rodgraphing@gmail.com. Love to have your feedback. Spread me around. Not doing as well this week. Just to bring you up to speed on the stats. I was lazy last week. Got about half of what I did the week before. Looks like it's right on par to go that way this week, too, because I've been, I haven't been real consistent here with the podcast. But I'm having fun. That's all that matters, right?